What if the very air you breathe could alter the course of your future? Imagine this. The invisible molecules that swirl around you, filling your lungs, are quietly weaving a story of change. Change that's reshaping our Earth, transforming landscapes and rewriting the narrative for species worldwide. But what if the plot could be altered? What if the ending isn't set in stone? The answer lies in understanding climate change, its causes and effects. Climate change, a term we hear often, but what causes it? To answer that question, we must first understand the role of greenhouse gases. These gases, like carbon dioxide and methane, trap heat from the sun in our atmosphere, creating a kind of thermal blanket around the Earth. This isn't inherently bad. In fact, without this natural greenhouse effect, our planet would be too cold for us to live on. However, the problem arises when we add extra layers to this blanket by burning fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and gas. Imagine you're in bed on a cold night. A blanket keeps you warm, but if you keep piling on more blankets, you'll start to overheat. That's essentially what we're doing to our planet. We're piling on too many blankets of greenhouse gases, and the Earth is starting to overheat. Another root cause of climate change is deforestation. Forests act like giant sponges, soaking up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. But when we cut down these forests, we not only lose these crucial carbon sinks, but we also release the carbon stored in the trees back into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. It's a double whammy of climate change acceleration, and then there's industrialization. Our modern way of life, with its factories, cars, and power plants, produces a staggering amount of greenhouse gases. In the 200 years since the start of the Industrial Revolution, we've increased the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by over 40%. It's clear that the root of the problem lies in our actions. The burning of fossil fuels, the destruction of forests, and the emissions from our industries are all driving up the Earth's temperature. These causes are largely man-made, a result of our relentless pursuit of progress. Our actions have consequences, and with climate change, these consequences are far-reaching. Let's delve into the ripple effect of climate change. The first ripple that we see is global warming. The Earth's average temperature has been on a steady incline for years now. It's like the planet has a fever that keeps getting worse. This isn't just making our summers hotter, it's causing the polar ice caps to melt, raising sea levels worldwide. This means coastal communities, some island nations, are at risk of disappearing beneath the waves. The second ripple is extreme weather. We're talking about more than just a few extra rainy days. We're seeing hurricanes that are more frequent and more powerful, droughts that last longer and cover larger areas, heat waves that are more intense. These extremes are not only dangerous for us humans, but they also threaten our food supply. Crops can't grow without the right weather, and too much or too little rain can be equally disastrous. The third ripple is one that's often overlooked, yet it's crucial for our survival: biodiversity. Our planet is home to an incredible variety of life, and all these different species are interconnected. They depend on each other for survival. But climate change is disrupting these connections. It's pushing many species towards extinction. And when one species goes, it can set off a chain reaction that affects many others. But it's not just the animals and plants that suffer. Biodiversity is also vital for humans. It provides us with food, with medicines, and with the raw materials we need to build and create. It helps to regulate our climate and to purify our air and water. When we lose biodiversity, we lose these benefits. And these effects, they don't just impact us, but the generations to come. Our children, our grandchildren, they'll inherit the world we leave behind. So let's make sure that it's a world they can thrive in, a world where they can enjoy the beauty and wonder of nature, just like we have. Climate change doesn't stop at just physical changes. This is where the plot thickens, as we delve into the indirect yet equally significant impacts of climate change. These are not just about rising sea levels or sweltering temperatures. They often manifest in geopolitical conflicts, economic instability, and public health crises, which can be equally, if not more, devastating. Let's start with the geopolitical conflicts. As resources become more scarce due to climate change, nations are forced into a fierce competition for survival. The melting of the Arctic ice, for example, has opened up new shipping routes and access to untapped oil reserves, sparking territorial disputes among countries. This can escalate tensions and potentially lead to conflict. Then there's economic instability. As climate change disrupts weather patterns, It directly impacts sectors like agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, which are heavily dependent on specific climate conditions. The havoc wreaked by extreme weather events such as hurricanes and droughts can cripple economies, particularly those of developing nations. And let's not forget the public health crises. Rising temperatures facilitate the spread of vector-borne diseases such as malaria and dengue fever. Heat waves can lead to increased mortality, especially among vulnerable populations. The increased frequency and intensity of wildfires, often linked to drier and hotter conditions, also contribute to respiratory illnesses. But it doesn't stop there. Climate change can also lead to mental health issues. The trauma of losing homes and livelihoods to extreme weather events can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. Climate change can also exacerbate social inequalities, as the most vulnerable groups are often hit the hardest. The ripple effects of climate change are indeed alarming. They serve as a stern reminder that the fight against climate change is not just about saving the planet, but also about preserving peace, stability, and health. As we move forward, we must remember that every action we take or fail to take can set off a chain reaction that will shape the world for generations to come. The ripple effects of climate change are indeed alarming. You might wonder, what can one person do against such a global issue? The answer could be more powerful than you think. The power of one person is immense, especially when it comes to climate change. Think about it. Each of us makes countless decisions every day. From the food we eat, to the products we buy, to the modes of transportation we use. Each of these choices, seemingly small and insignificant in the grand scheme of things, actually holds the potential to make a significant difference. Imagine a world where everyone chooses to consume less and recycle more, where we consciously decide to minimize our carbon footprints by opting for renewable energy, reducing waste, and cultivating more sustainable lifestyles. The collective impact of these individual actions could be monumental. In the face of climate change, adopting a business-as-usual mindset is not an option. It's time we realize that every choice we make matters. We are not just passive observers in this crisis. We are active participants, and our daily actions contribute to either the acceleration or the mitigation of climate change. Let's think about the food we eat. A plant-based diet, for instance, requires significantly less water and land than a meat-based diet. By opting for more plant-based meals, we can help reduce the pressure on our planet's resources. Or consider the products we buy. By choosing to support brands that prioritize sustainability, we can help drive the demand for more environmentally friendly products and practices. And let's not forget about transportation. By opting for public transit, biking, or walking when feasible, we can significantly reduce our carbon emissions. Yes, the problem is immense, but so is the potential for change. Every single one of us has a part to play in this. It's not about one person making a perfect choice, but about all of us making better choices more often. So remember, you are not powerless. You hold in your hands the power to make a difference. Every action counts, and it begins with you. Now that we understand the problem, it's time to be part of the solution. Our home, Earth, is in jeopardy. It's not a distant future concern. It's here, it's now, and it's urgent. We've delved into the causes and consequences of climate change, and now we must face the reality that we are the catalysts of our own environment's transformation. But we also hold the power to change the narrative. You see, it all boils down to choices. The choices we make every day. From the food we consume, the products we buy, the means of transportation we choose, to the energy we use. Each decision contributes to the larger picture of our planet's health. But it's not just about individual actions. It's about collective change. It's about supporting policies and companies that prioritize the environment. It's about demanding transparency and accountability from those who hold the reins of power. It's about educating ourselves and others about the urgent need for sustainable practices. We are not merely spectators in this unfolding drama of climate change. We are the actors. We are the directors. We have the opportunity, the responsibility to rewrite the script. Remember, no action is too small in the battle against climate change. Every effort counts. Every voice matters. So let's step up and take action. Let's be the change we wish to see in our world. Make a difference today for a better tomorrow.